Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is two fans with a mic. It's your boy Draze, and I am joined by none other than my guy Green. What's poppin', homie? Green, are you there?
The green machine popped off for a second, but I think he'll be back, Drace.
Okay. Look, people, this is you guys know what it is, man. We're not in the ghetto, but it's ghetto. You know what I mean? Two fans with a mic, man. Um, it's the sports show that's popping off every single weekend, every single Monday, 9 p.m. We will be right here. Two fans with a mic. That's me, Draze, my partner Green. We're gonna be talking sports. We've got an action-packed show for y'all today that you do not want to miss. A lot of topics. We're gonna be talking all things NFL. We're gonna be talking about the rookies, all of the rookies, all of them. Caleb Williams. We're going to talk about Malik Neighbors. We're going to talk about Marvin Harrison. You name it, we'll talk about that. We got to talk some Russell Wilson and get into what is going on in Pittsburgh. In addition to that, we'll talk, obviously, you know, we're from Seattle, so we got to do some Hawk talk. Mike McDonald, Seattle Seahawks, all of that coming up. We also have a special panel coming in today. We'll be joined by Derek as well as Pamela, all Hawks right here. Two fans with a mic, man. How we looking with Green? Is he around?
Green is dropped, but we will try to get him back. In the meantime, in between time, Drace, what's on your mind this weekend while we get Green back? Anything that pops off while we wait for the other fan with a mic? It's one fan with a mic, real quick. Let's see what's going on, and I'll work on getting Green back.
All right. Sports wise, what was on my mind? Here's one thing I want to talk about. I'll tell you this because it's not a topic that we're talking about on the show. The Colorado Buffaloes. One guy by the name of Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. I watched I watched 2 weeks of this team, man, and it's heart-wrenching. I want to say this first and foremost, though, because Deion is he's the type of figure that people really, really care about. I care and I love Deion, but this team is not very good. And this is the second year of me seeing this. And I'm going to be honest, I blame Deion for a lot of it. He's got to hang this on his head. They came out that last game, and it was 3 and out. And then the next time they got the ball, it was 3 and out. Both drives, no runs, all passes. After that, you with me, Green?
What's happening?
What's popping? Hey, man, I was just getting ready to look. I won't go too far. Just know I'm not happy with Deion Sanders.
I heard. I can't knock you for your stance on that, man. It's not looking good over there.
It's not. And I love Deion.
Right.
But
we all do.
Yeah, but I blame Deion, though.
We need results. It's a result business, right?
I'm from the show me state, man.
Come on, man. We need results, man. And I don't care about all the pro coaching and all the celebrities. Hey, between the lines, what's going on, Deion?
I don't care if that's Lil Wayne out there, man.
Right. Means nothing to me.
How are you, man? How are you?
I'm feeling wonderful, man. We had a great week of football. You know what I'm saying? It was exciting. And I've been so excited to start talking about what I was able to witness. We have so much to dive into. Are you ready?
I am. Let me say this. I have to say before we get started.
Yeah.
3 things I'm just happy about.
Yeah.
Number 1, my Seahawks won.
Yes.
You guys see it? I'm representing. We're 1-0, baby.
Yes.
I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Number 2, let me add to that. The Washington Commanders, Jaden played well, and we lost, and we need to lose because I need them to get a high draft pick. So I love that. Jaden Daniels looked awesome to me.
He did.
Look, bright spots. I was just going, the future's bright.
Yes.
And the third thing, my fantasy football teams 1-0. And when you
that's what really matters, right? That's what really matters, man.
When you get the trifecta like that, bro, come on, man.
What more can you ask for?
What more can you ask for? But anyways, people, we are two fans with a mic. I'm Draze, this is Green, and we are here every single Monday night, right after you watch your Monday Night Football, man. Tune in with your boys, man. We'll get y'all right talking about all the topics in sports. We're gonna jump right in today.
Yes.
Later on, we'll do some hot talk. We got a great panel coming up. We're gonna have Derek and we got Pamela joining us for a great panel on the Seahawks. Make sure you stick around because you're gonna want to peep all of that. In addition to that, we'll be talking about some of the rookies in around the NFL. Caleb Williams, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison. We'll be catching up with all those guys and seeing who balled, who didn't ball, what is Green feeling, what am I feeling, and giving our 2 cents. But we got to start with the kickoff of NFL season. I got a question I want to put on the floor, really.
Let's do it.
And it's just every year there is this ability to overreact after 1 week.
Yeah.
I want to know, what are the logical overreactions? If that statement even makes sense.
Yeah.
What is a logical overreaction that I could take from this week, Greg?
Well, I mean, if you're not overreacting, then what are you doing? Right? You know what I'm saying? Fanatics are people who are insane about the fan and the team that they love, right? Supposed to go crazy. But here's some that are reasonable. There are some that are way out there, but I think some places, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I'll start off with the Cleveland Browns. Okay. I have to admit, now I don't know this guy outside of football, but I'm kind of rooting for him. I know some of his stuff is a bit questionable. Who knows what's true? Who knows what's not? We live in a world where there's a lot of false accusations out here. So I try not to judge, right?
Right.
But when we're talking about what goes on the field,
like
we were talking about with the Colorado Buffaloes, results is everything. And Deshaun Watson received the first ever fully guaranteed contract in NFL history. They gave up a busload to get this guy into their organization who hadn't played in a while. And to be quite frank, since he's shown up, he's been cheeks, right? To put it just straightforward, he's been cheeks. And what makes it worse is he's actually on a team that could compete for a Super Bowl if he was the guy who was the guy with Houston, right?
Yeah.
And so when you watch him out there now, I want to give him a little bit of a pass because his father just passed. I send my condolences. Not sure what his relationship with his father was, but I could still imagine that had an impact on him. He was dealing with an injury throughout training camp. So there's a lot of things that I can understand and be like, hey, it might just be a little bit of rust or whatever. But he came off of a season where they weren't doing great until that's not true. They were winning without him, but he didn't look great. And then the backup, Joe Flacco, who was working at my job, comes in there, takes him to the playoffs. So there's a lot of like, yo, are you holding this team back? Can you take this team to the next level? I think it's reasonable to be concerned. What say you?
I think it's reasonable to say we may never get Deshaun Watson walked into a massage parlor and we've never seen him since. I don't know where Deshaun is at a massage parlor. That's where he's at. I know where he is.
Man.
I know where he is. He's at I'm telling you, that guy never got off the bed. I'm sorry. We may never see it. I don't know what's wrong. I don't.
It's weird.
It's like he's got the yips or something. It's like in his head. Like you see him, he doesn't throw the same. It's like he's thinking.
Yeah.
He's not as fast. I don't know. He's not as elusive. This one is really, really baffling to me because I've never seen someone be that good and turn to be this bad. It's really, really shocking from something that happened off the field. Like, I get it. You were out of football for a long time, but that was a really, really bizarre one to me. Let me throw out one of my overreactions, okay?
Yeah.
My overreaction from this Monday morning after the first week of football, the Pittsburgh Steelers
Yeah.
will be doing this quarterback thing the entire season.
The whole year?
It's just, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
I watched Justin Fields, and
Not
he's
sold?
cheeks too. Okay, he's weak, bro. I watched him, and I was just like all he wants to do is run around. Like,
yeah.
I used to think, in Chicago, I made excuses for him because I was like, well, it's a bad organization in the line, and when he gets in a good organization, he doesn't even want to play football the right way.
Right.
He just drops back, and he's like, oh, there's a crease.
Yeah, I'm out. Draze, what if I told you that he didn't complete a single ball in the middle of the field? He damn near threw balls in the middle of the field. Everything he did was on the perimeter of the field.
Wow.
And just from the history of the game in the NFL, you just can't win that way, right? You might be able to get away with it because he's uber athletic every now and again. But by and large, teams study, man. They're going to see that. They're going to make you make those tough passes that you don't trust yourself to make. And at that point, I think he gets exposed. I hope that it's just a lot of week one rust. It was throughout the league. So I just want to kind of reserve, me just really bashing guys.
No, this is Overreaction Monday.
You're right.
We are overreacting.
You're right. You're right.
They kicked 5 field goals, people, no touchdowns.
Yeah.
But let me add this, though, just to add a little something saucy in the water.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson not playing was the best thing for him.
Think so?
Yeah. Sit back, man. Let the fans clamor for you. Whoever was starting first, the fans were going to clamor for the other guy at some point. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Sit back. Let the offense get frustrated because receivers, after you can keep winning, and eventually the receivers are going to be like, hey, man, bro, we're winning, but if Russ was back there, man, I'd have 2-3 of them things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that matters.
Yeah, guys start getting real. They want to win, but they want to win the way they want to win, man.
Yeah.
It was Devontae Adams last year who was talking about that. He's like, I mean, we need to win the way it's supposed to be. And what he was saying is 18 needs to get the ball.
18's got to get that thing, man.
He's got to get the ball. So Pickens will start griping. Other guys will start griping. But, yeah, that was it. Any other overreactions from you?
The Giants. This will be quick because I'm not going to waste a ton of time on it. It is a dumpster fire over there. And Daniel Jones is holding that team hostage. It is probably the worst contract in the NFL and a pool full of awful contracts. The guy is a dud. There's no more experimenting. We know what we know. That's not an overreaction, Draze. That's just what it is. The fact of the matter is they blew that. Yeah. And he stinks.
And who didn't know it?
The Giants.
I for the life of me. Can we overreaction? I just want to follow your overreaction and be a part of it. One last thing before I get my last one. The Bill Belichick whispers should be starting right now.
You can't hear that? Can you hear that? It's in the air, man. It's just. It's all, yeah.
Did somebody say Bill? Did somebody say Bill? Hey, that's what their coach should be hearing, Bill Belichick, man. Hey,
bruh.
Can you picture what Bill Belichick would do with that defensive line?
Come on, man. He's gonna.
Are you kidding me? And he gets a Malik Neighbors, and then he's gonna go out and get a quarterback.
Yeah.
And Bill Belichick, and what does he have? What is he like? 13 wins away. That's all he's looking for.
Yeah, that's all I need.
He needs those
Screw
wins.
A Super Bowl, man. I'm just trying to get them dubs real quick, man.
I'm trying to pass Don Shula. That is
right.
It.
That's it.
All right, my last thing, same to you. I'll shoot him off. My last overreaction, just because it's, I mean, Who was it? If you want to crown him then, right?
Oh, Coach Green.
Coach Green.
Yeah.
These teams are right where they're supposed. San Francisco 49ers, Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles. Just if you want to crown them, crown them. I mean, these guys are all clicking in a way that you're just like, I must confess. Because I told you about San Francisco. There was so much turmoil. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. This type of stuff fractures teams.
Right.
Did you see them tonight?
Bro. You know what? Let me get to my next question because it kind of feeds into this.
Okay.
Which teams should be excited after week 1 and which teams should be concerned after week 1?
Let's talk concerns.
Let's do that. That's fun.
You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati. Because the Cincinnati Bengals. I know. If this was Aaron Rodgers, he would say RELAX.
Right.
Relax.
Right.
I know that Joe Burrow is, he's Joey Cool. You know what I mean? He's got the blonde hair, but something seems different this time.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase ain't got his money.
Right.
Something's not right. That ain't Tyler Boyd at the 3.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the lack of a running game. There's no Mixon and there's no Tyler Boyd. Those two things put everything on Chase. I don't know. There's something in the guts of this team that seems like it's not there. And so for that reason, and because they're in such a tough division, I'm not saying the Bengals are not going to look better than they looked. They absolutely will. But in a division that has Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and the Ravens, there's not a lot of room for error.
There's no room.
They don't get back to that level of eliteness that we once thought. If I were them, that's who I'd be worried. What do you think?
I couldn't agree with you more, man. I look at it, and NFL is a game where you don't have time to half step. Like you have to make every single day count because you only get 17 games, right? And every game is crucial. And so when you come into camp and guys aren't there, guys are disgruntled, you can't just overlook that and just think that things are going to be okay when we go out here and be like, oh, we got the New England Patriots week 1. We'll be fine. Well, apparently you won't. So now you're 0-1. That should have been a gimme in a game or in a division where you can't give away games. And another thing that really stood out to me, great call on the Bengals, was Joe Mixon the last 2 to 3 years has always been a solid back, right? But he was either a boom or bust type of player. They couldn't really get him going. Now, granted, it's only been 1 week, but that 1 week said a lot to me that he goes to Houston in week 1. He looks like Barry Sanders.
Oh my God. I was like, who is this guy?
That's not Joe Mixon. I know Joe Mixon. I know Joe Mixon. That's not Joe Mixon. I don't know who that guy is, but it's just like, sometimes organizations just don't know what they're doing and they just F things up. And they could be in the midst of doing that this season. T. Higgins, is he hurt or is he just not happy he doesn't have a contract? Does Jamar Chase, is he ill or is he just unhappy he doesn't have a contract? What's going on there? I can't call it.
And all I know is D'Amico's like, if you don't want him, I'll take him.
Come over here.
And when I say I did not reckon Joe Mixon, I was ready to pass on him in fantasy. I'm like, what was I doing? That's Joe Mixon. I didn't, man. He was breaking tackles. He looked amazing, man. The Bengals, they are on kind of an upset watch. Who do you think should be excited when you look at the league?
The team that you were just talking about, man, the San Francisco 49ers. And the reason why I say that is because they were another team who was goofing off in training camp. Guys weren't there, disgruntled this, disgruntled that, pulled calf this. Then all of a sudden we get the bombshell. You actually hit me today I'm leaving, getting ready to watch the game. You're like, yo, no McCaffrey. I'm like, huh? Yet and still, with all those distractions, they are on prime time tonight against the contending team in the AFC, and they look phenomenal. They lose a Super Bowl in dramatic fashion. They come out today and look phenomenal. No Christian McCaffrey. This Mason kid. I mean, how do they just continue to find these people is beyond me.
I don't know.
Right? And it's just like Debo's he looks quicker and thinner and faster. And Jennings just looks like he's ready to take a step. And Kill's not slowing down. And Trench just, if I'm the 49ers, I'm like, now we're dialed back in. All the distractions. Let's just play football now. And I think for that, I would be excited if I'm the Niners.
There is, you know how they say Super Bowl hangover?
Yeah.
They drink all night and all day, and there's no hangover, brother.
They're good.
They are, they're locked in. They look what you would want if your team loses. If you keep getting to the doorstep, anything you would want is your team to lock in and get more focused. Some people fall apart. Some people get more focused. I don't like what I see mentality-wise in Baltimore. There's something. There's something. I can't put my finger on it quite yet, but there's something in the mentality that I'm like, whereas, and I'm saying that because those are two teams that lost on their way to trying to win their goal, right? And what you see mentally from the 49ers looks like, oh no, we're locked in. When it's time to play football, these are our band of brothers and we're ready to go. So then let me ask you this one last question in this vein of things. Of the three teams, maybe I'm wrong. The three teams I like are KC, the 49ers, and the Eagles. They're about they're the three teams I'm like, y'all gotta all be excited. Just be good. Which one who should be the most excited of the three of them?
The one that has the alien. So if I have that guy, hey, feed me like that. He's a cheat code like no other cheat codes. But again, I don't have them winning the Super Bowl. I think they could be tripped up, but it doesn't mean they will be, and it doesn't mean that they shouldn't be the most excited. You know, the weapons that they have, that Worthy kid looks explosive. Hollywood Brown is coming back, and that defense looked good. So definitely the Chiefs, but I will put, I mean, the way Saquon looked, Eagles were second on my excited list behind the Niners, right? The Eagles, they don't know, they have no idea what it's like to have a running back that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and he doesn't know what it's like to have holes. He's like, you guys kidding me? Is that what a hole is? And the end of the night, Saquon looked like a kid in a candy store. He was like, man, what?
Right.
He got up like, oh yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for the guy, man.
So happy, right?
So happy.
Yeah.
Now hold on.
Yeah.
Let me tell you some people I'm not happy for. The rookies. I want to pose a question. There was so much hype, so much excitement about the NFL rookies, right? We've got Caleb over here, and
you're over there.
Marvin Harrison over there, and
he's over there.
Davis is wide open. And,
he's over there,
Roma Dunze is going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did it work out? How did it work out for the rookies this week?
Well, as a guy who has been banging the table, I was pretty mute on Sunday. I was pretty mute, man. I'm on record saying that this receiving class could be the greatest in the history of the NFL. Yeah. And boy, did they hit me with the doozy on Sunday. The NFL is a different animal and a different beast. I will say this though, I'm not worried about Neighbors, and most importantly, Marvin Harrison, who had one catch for 4 yards. I think that they weren't really targeted that much. Kyler Murray didn't really throw as many passes as you would expect him to throw. Daniel Jones, we already talked about him. I can't hold Neighbors accountable for that. He still had 5 for 66, which is solid. I think they will definitely be better moving forward. But it was not a great day. I think it was a humbling experience for Marvin Harrison Jr. for sure. I'm actually excited to see how he responds to this. He's a really nice guy, and I think he's going to have to get a little ugly, right? You're going to be doubled, bro. You're one of those. You're him. So we've got to figure it out, right? Malik Neighbors has to keep his cool and not punch his quarterback in the face. I'm sure he wants to. But Adonai Mitchell for the Colts showed some promise. He was missed on 2 bombs for touchdowns. He was getting open.
Yeah,
Brian Thomas Jr. caught a touchdown, beat Jalen Ramsey for another one, got a PI. Lad McConkey scored. Keon Coleman did well. So it was some girth there, some good there, but no one really exploded like I thought. A great day for the rookie class, but I think better days are ahead for sure.
I could not agree with you more, man. It's rookie class will be fine. These guys will all be fine. I don't have any question marks on any of them. It was just welcome to the NFL, kids.
Welcome to the NFL.
Like, at the end of the day, yeah, you're gonna be fine, but not today.
Not today.
You will not be fine today. Bo Nix, not today.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
We will talk about Joe Hawks in a minute.
In a minute. It was just Caleb Williams. It was humbling watching him.
Yeah.
It was just like, hey man, like you look horrible.
He looked bad.
Yeah, he looked bad. Like he looked bad. And
I don't think he got 100. I don't think he got 100 yards passing.
Man, he celebrated that win, and I was sitting there like, bruh. Now I will say I'm happy he celebrated that way. I will say this, like I actually would not have liked it the opposite if he was pouting and all that. Like the win's the win. It shows that you care about the team.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you think you played well. You know you didn't play well. Yeah. But it just means, hey man, we got the win, man. That's what's up. I gotta get better. I gotta do my thing. I ain't mad at it. I mean, the fanatic in me who just likes to talk my ish. You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you celebrating for, bro? Like, yeah, right. Yeah. You didn't do nothing. But at the end of the day, man, he's got a lot of work to do. I just think I love watching these rookies come into the league and struggle and be challenged. I am worried about Malik Neighbors. His mental health, man.
He's
worried
gonna put
about
someone. I just don't want it to be Daniel Jones. Punch a lineman or something. It'll go over well in the New York media. One thing I want to say about Caleb, the Titans, don't be surprised if their defense is better than we think. They added Ladarius Sneed from the Chiefs. They made some good additions on that defense that really could bode well for them, even though Will Levis looked like me out there. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually a really good defense, and he just really got punched in the mouth. And, you know, we'll see how much he develops in a week's time next week for Caleb Williams.
And let's add this. I watched that game, and Will Levis was like the tell of two halves.
Yeah.
Because the first half, he was playing well.
Yeah.
You were going, okay, you're playing a really good game.
Yeah.
And then he made some bonehead plays. And in the NFL, sometimes when the snowball gets to rolling downhill, man, the momentum is a thing.
It's a real thing.
It's a very real, and it just happened. And then Will, at one point, when he was on his knee and he just kind of flung the ball out there, and
you're like,
he just couldn't catch a break. Anything he did was gonna be, and it's like, Will, when the momentum's going bad, he's got to learn how to slow the bleeding and stop the bleeding. But the Titans looked really good in the first half. They should have kept running the ball. And then when it came to Caleb, I will say in his defense, they could not block the Titans from the jump. I mean, it was from hike of the first quarter. I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? And it was like he was just running for his life. So it's no excuse.
But it's just a real thing.
It's a real thing. Welcome to the NFL, kids. You guys will be all right. And if not, we'll be here watching and talking about it. That's for sure.
Hey, I think it's time, man.
It's the time we've all been waiting for.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the time we've all been waiting for. You see it. You see it. You see it. You see it? We're 1-0, ladies and gentlemen. We're 1-0. 1-0. On our way to 10-7. I said it. I said it here first. On our way to 10 and 7, we're 1-0. You see the picture in the back of the whole Seahawks Hawk gang. You know what I mean? Witherspoon, Reek Woolen. It feels different in the 206, man.
It looked different, man. I cannot wait to dive into what I saw on Sunday, right? There were some things that need some oil, but there was a lot that was like, yo, this isn't normal, man. This could be something special. And before we get into it, I love to see Marshawn on the sideline and camp. Like, there was a lot made. We talked about the fact that, you know, coach wanted to remove some of the stuff from years past, right? And there was a little bit of like, yo, should he have done that? Should he have not? The fact that he brought those guys back in to show love shows that, hey, it's not about trying to discredit or remove. You could never remove. But these guys here haven't done anything, right? So they can't rest on past things. We've got to create our own legacy. And I think this is the beginning of something special.
I'll tell you this. That was a misstep. I said it then. I said it now. He has been, he got, you know, he stuck his hand in the, he got it popped by the fans. And now he is all Legion of Boom. He is just, hey, when the Legion comes up, he's just, oh, Marshawn? Hey, look, he gets it. He learns. Listen, I'm not going to, don't touch our beloved. That's our only ring, Mike. So just, he's good now. He's on his PR. He's doing good, the whole nine. But without further ado, man, like you guys know, we're going to talk Hawks every single week right here on Two Fans with a Mic. We are doing something special this week. We have our Seahawks panel, and joining us, some of our analysts on Two Fans of the Mic are the homie Pamela and Derek in the building. What's poppin', my people?
What's good?
What's going on?
Yes.
Come on, man. We're four fans with a mic, man. Let's
four
get it.
fans with a mic, man.
1-0. 1-0.
Fresh off a win.
Yes.
We'll take it. And you can feel the excitement. I'm gonna just start opening up the floor real quick, and it's to either one of you guys could jump in. How did it feel watching Mike McDonald's Seahawks? How did you feel about it? What's your reaction to the game? Talk to me.
Well, I'll start. First of all, seeing him in the throwback swag, seeing the throwback logo on the field. We got a new, personnel in the building. We done picked off Ryan Grubb from UW, saved him from Tuscaloosa. Like all of that is very exciting just to have that Seattle like vibe and, taking it back. I was a little shook in the first half. The offense was looking real raggedy. So I was ready to rescind, Ryan Grubb's offer. and then we made some really critical adjustments at the half. And it started to take form. We were looking a lot sharper. So, offensively, I was a little shook. But the defense, can we talk about that defense? Can we talk about the secondary? Can we talk about those safeties? We were just getting it done. Like the receivers for the Broncos had 0 yards after each catch. Like that is incredible. We were tackling, we were shutting it down, we were holding them to 3 and outs. I was very excited about that. So it was a great way to take charge.
Talk to me, D. What are your thoughts on Mike McDonald Seahawks?
Very similar feelings. I was really excited and pumped. There was all of the nostalgia seeing those throwback unis. I will say that after that first half, I was like, they need to take those off and come out in something else because that was a frustrating first half, particularly just with the offense and watching them just kind of sputter and struggle. But one of the things that I appreciate about Dude, and I think it's pretty clear, like coaching matters because we haven't changed a whole bunch. There's been some turnover on our roster, but we're pretty much talking about the same group of guys. So watching that defense just kind of be on a string, and the way that our gap fits against the run and just not, 3.3 yards. I mean, I feel like we were giving up a first down a pop when folks was running the rock. 2 runs and it's a first down, right? And so man, it was exciting to watch. But the biggest thing that Sis hit on that I love about Dude was just the adjustments. Now, this is not about trying to bash Pete, but I mean, talk about just watching the same thing happen over and over and over again, and there never being an answer. So to have them go in at the half and come back out, and then to see different results was like, this is refreshing. So yeah, it was solid, man, and I was definitely enjoying it.
I feel like I was in an abused relationship, bro.
You know,
because it was like you're right. Like I would watch it, and Derek hit me last year. Now, sorry, I got to air you out, D. He was like, it might be time to let Pete go. He was the first person to say it to me, right? And I was just kind of like, no. Like, I was in the abusive relationship. No. He's like, Draze, he's not adjusting at half. We're doing this on 3rd and long. They're getting it every time. I'm just, no. I just couldn't do it. You know what I mean?
The Stockholm Syndrome. You couldn't let him go. Couldn't let him go.
Hey, I was gonna be the last one to hold on, man. And now that we're here, man, we're here. Green, I'm gonna let you chime in. What did you think? The good, the bad, and the ugly.
You guys really touched on the good. I'll highlight it by just saying it was incredible to see how quickly we improved in open field tackling. That was Draze hears me talk about this all the time. That Pittsburgh Steeler game last year when we had an opportunity to make the playoffs and they come in and run for 400 yards and we couldn't tackle, right? That was brutal, right? To go to the playoffs and we couldn't tackle. And you saw the enormous difference made on Sunday. You look at Tariq Woolen, that fire, that fight is back. He looks phenomenal again, right? And so those things just really jumped out at me. But I want to talk about something that was concerning. Can you guys please
hold on? We're gonna get to concerning. Let me chime in on my goods, and then I'll let us all get. Okay. You always want to stoke the fires, man.
Yeah, I got some stuff to talk about.
It's the Hawk party, man. let me.
Hey, Green don't love her like you do.
Right? He doesn't love her like I do, man. In all honesty, man, it was the defense, man. I was just like, man, is this what a defense looks like? And I know I lived through the Legion of Boom, so I should get it, right? Like you've seen a great defense before, but man, do you guys know how long it's been since I've seen a linebacker who can run sideline to sideline? Like I was watching Baker, I was like, who's he? Like he plays for us. He's our linebacker. I was like, because we didn't really get to see it. Like the linebackers were playing well, the safeties were playing well. Even to get defensive pressure right up the middle, Leonard Williams was killing, right? I mean, he just kept getting pressure right up the middle. And then to see the next step on guys like Mafe and all of our D ends. I mean, Draymond Jones is still Draymond Jones, okay? But I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I just was like, I'm like, what happened? Like, if Mike can't fix Draymond Jones, no one can, man. But but aside from that, it was just dope to see. And those corners, it's exciting. And then the last piece, which you both said, I just wanted to say it again. I can't say it enough. The adjustments at half. I was watching the Colorado football game, and Derek and I were talking about it where it was like they were pass heavy in the first half, right? And it put them down 28-3 or something going in at half. And then in the second half, they came out and they just passed and passed and passed. And they lost the game and got hammered, and you never really saw a commitment to the run. Whereas with Seattle, it was like we came out, we tried something, we put ourselves in some bad situations, but the adjustments offensively were amazing. It was kind of like saying we're committed to winning. And we know we have a team that can do a lot of different things well, and we just have to, okay, we're going to start with the run. We're going to open it up. We're going to give the ball to Kenny. We're going to let him run the ball, and we're going to let that open things up for us. So it was just dope to see. So now, as Randy would love to do, we're going to talk about the bad or the ugly. You know what I'm saying? What are some things that are concerning to each of you guys? Green, we'll let you start since we know you're excited to get to this part.
Right. And I just want to say, I want to clear my name. I just deal with a lot of fans who always talk super crazy. So I'm here to just be a voice of reason. When you look at a team and you're talking about trying to win a Super Bowl, which we did a few years ago, actually, what was it, 11? It takes a lot. And so I know me and you talked, and you were just like, oh, yeah, they're going to the playoffs. And I was the one who was saying, yo, I got us at 8, 9, 9, and 8 because I really worry about our offensive line. Since you've known me, I've been big on trenches. I like teams like the Lions and the Eagles and the Niners because they're great in the trenches. I was going to ask you guys before Doomy rudely interrupted me, how many times have you witnessed a game where a team gave 2 safeties in one half?
It's never happened.
Never happened. So I'm sitting here, I'm watching the game, and like you guys, I'm excited about the defense. I'm like, yo, these guys is running around. My face looking like an extremely budding superstar off the edge. Yet our offense is looking terrible. Right. And it's all because of the offensive line. And I know we're hurt. I know we're beat up. But those teams that we're going to play don't care. Right. And if we can't protect Geno, as we saw first play of the game, he's going to throw picks. When you can protect him, he can get guys the ball. When you can't block for the run to get going, Ken Walker looks like a regular guy. When you give him some lanes, he looks like the next coming. Right. And so those are the things that really stuck out to me, because in the NFC, I think we're going to really have to establish our running to really be able to open up things to get our outside guys opportunities to get downfield. DK didn't have a game because I think we weren't able to sustain blocks against a defense that I don't know how good they are. And so what I would like to do is rely on you guys to calm me down or let me know if what I saw was accurate.
I mean, it was definitely accurate. I think we were also dealing with depth issues at certain positions. We're talking about third string right tackle, week 1. So, and these are the things that have been plaguing our offense, like for the last how many seasons, like struggling with an offensive line. And we also know that, like, if you can't get the run game going, you can't control the clock.
Right.
Run out of time. You can't, all these things that trickle down from there, the play action, not being able to use it and all of that stuff. So to your point, the O-line, it was tragic. The guard, like everybody. I mean, it was like a complete failure. Stinky, PU. And I know we're talking about the negatives, but I just have to say this because this was pivotal.
Yeah.
And this is where the selflessness of, like, being a unit offensively, defensively, we talked about it on the defense, but like having the receivers and the tight ends step up and help block. It really made a difference, So yes, negative O-line, but the adjustment was getting the help that we needed to open up those gaps and be able to make plays. I would love for DK. This is my negative. I would love for him to stop incurring penalties.
Man.
I just want to look. That's it.
Can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Can you say that one more time and say, hey, Draze, before you say that? Say, hey, Draze, and then say that statement one more time.
Do we know how I feel about DK? I'm nearing trade territory, man. His stock is still really high. We could get a lot for him. We could get a lot of bang for our buck. I mean, it's like, if he's not the target, he is causing penalties. It's crazy.
Can we keep her around? Draze, can we keep her around?
I will hear none of it.
Can we just keep her around?
Freak athlete, crazy measurables, but bro,
freak athlete, crazy measurables, but also drops a lot of balls that he should
catchable
for a guy who wants to be elite. And if you want to be elite, I just need you to catch those balls, because he will miss a routine you know what I'm saying, toss, and then turn around 5 plays later and make some amazing, crazy. And I'm like, I just need you to do the basics, man.
Because
Quit being a meathead
yeah,
and getting penalties. You know what I'm saying? He acts like he's a lineman, man. Like he's, like he's getting extra sauce on his ribs. I don't know, but he be out there tripping, bro. I need him to just tone it down a notch or two, man. He's out here wrestling guys after the play. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I will say
this. Hold on. I want to let you go, D, but I will say this. Yes, I agree. He is a meathead. DK is a complete. Me and Derek have been having this conversation for forever. The guy's a meathead. He can't stop it. You get the good with the bad, man. But when we start talking trades, I'm glad that me, John, and Mike are on the same page. So you fanatics, you stay over here and talk about trades. We're not moving DK. No, I won't hear of it. Go ahead, D. I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
I will say,
hear of it. Oh man, okay. I agree on the issues with the line. The being on a third string lineman in the first game is wild, and wildly concerning. I will say though, I felt like they weren't set up for success in the sense that why were we in shotgun, fam? Like on the one and handing the rock off. So that was a couple of suspect calls there that it's like that you don't even give your line a chance with that, right? So that was all I was going to throw in there. But the line certainly needs some work. It's been a long-standing issue on our team for a long time because for whatever reason, we would go to Nordstrom's for everything else, but our line, we go to Value Village, bro. Yeah, and I'm over it.
we got a ring, and then we said to hell with them.
We can fix anything.
Yeah, the Max
can get out of everything. Marshawn can run through anything.
Mm-hmm. Once we got rid of Max Unger, it was all downhill, right?
Right.
Traded him
100%.
for. Mm-hmm. I'll say this: when it comes to the negatives, I agree with everything you guys said about the offensive line. I think it's obvious. I will say that I'm not like anything. You have to see a game or two, right? You want to see a couple of games to be able to see what something is. I know the O-line is not good, but when you have a tale of two halves and they're vastly different, it was the same offensive line in the second half. So something about it, it wasn't just, oh, well, the offensive line just turned it on. No, what I also think happened in the first half is there are certain halves that happen where you just find yourself in bad situations the entire game. And it was a half where we were in, like, for example, the time they punted it to us and our guy should have fair caught the ball and caught it. He doesn't. The ball bounces out at the 1. Now we're on the 1 yard line, right? And so I'm not making excuses for them, but what I am saying is there's situation. There are times where, again, you're playing behind the 8 ball. We were playing behind the 8 ball the whole first half, and I just think it allows you not to be able to call the game you want to call the plays you want to call. And once we got ahead of it, then you started to see things change. So it'll be interesting to see how the line looks next week. That's what I'm trying to say, especially with a Patriots team that looked like their defense played really, really good against the Bengals. So it'll be just interesting to see in the coming weeks how it looks. And then when we get the second string guy back, I have no faith that Abe Lucas is coming back. But at least
right. At least number 2, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I gotta throw this in there though. This is just something to watch. The line actually grades out. These linemen on our team grade out high as run blockers. A lot of them have,
and they did, and
as pass blockers,
and they did.
So
they
here's my thing to watch,
good
though,
job
right?
against the run. Yeah.
So I'm concerned. I'm like, is Grubb just impatient to impress because of this prolific UW offense and everybody that he's not going to slow down and play to the strengths of this offense, which we got to get the run game going and let that open up our ability to, to get downfield, or is he going to keep trying to do it in reverse and dig us in holes that we can't get out of? So that's kind of something that I feel like I want to pay attention to and see if that's an adjustment we can make going forward. Because you heard McDonald, he's like, yeah, we went in and I said, man, we need to close down the splits of the linemen and let's pound the rock. Like that's what we're gonna do in the second half, and we got different results.
Hey, I mean, it's the other guy that I would say is a negative too is I didn't get to really expose him was I don't know his name. The special teams number 33. That guy played a trashy game. Come on, man, you can't fumble one and then you don't get, you got to catch the fair catch, man. Like, this is field position. I'm sorry, special teams.
One job. Yeah.
You got one thing
Precisely.
I need you to do. I need you to do.
Yeah.
So then give me one player that you guys are excited about on this team, right? When you watched them yesterday, rather than looking at the unit, we talked about the D-lines and the corners and all that. Is there one player on the team, each of us, that you're excited about? Pamela, what do you got?
Oh, that's so unfair. Okay. I got to go first. Well, okay. I know this is never just a direct answer. So I am always very excited to watch Julian Love, like always. I mean, 12 tackles, like, double digits tackles, like killing. But from just the game yesterday, it's between the tight ends. I know this is like an off color, but the blocking, I think, really made a difference in how we were able to get our offense going. So I'm going to say it's either Noah Fant or it's AJ Barner. One of the two. I feel like they did a really great job of sealing the edges and, making room for some stuff to pop off because we were struggling.
Right. Derek, what about you?
Yeah, if I had to probably pick a player from yesterday's game, thinking about it, Love was the person that I was going to point out. In terms of just my overall excitement, I would say JSN. Like, I just love his ability to kind of do everything in the route tree. He's just got really soft hands and knows how to get open. So I'm gonna go with JSN.
I'll jump in and then I'll let you go, Green. My person was going to be Julian Love. That's crazy that we all had that. The impact. I've known he was good. He looked elite yesterday. It was really kind of like, man, I haven't seen you look this good, right? Like, okay.
Didn't you used to hate on him a little bit?
Yep.
Do you want to talk about that?
No, I never hated on Julian.
Huh?
You didn't hate on him, but it wasn't.
Whoa. It wasn't Love.
It was not
Roll
love.
the tapes. Roll the tape. Where's
Roll
the
the
clip?
tape, man.
We need the receipt.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I stand on business. I never had a problem with Love. I didn't think he was all that, but he was our backup safety. What do you want me to do? I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I thought he was solid. I love the signing when we signed him. I don't know, man. I don't think I've had an issue with Love, but we'll leave that there. But Julian Love balled out, great game. Aside from him, I would say the player I'll pick up is Lockett, and it's because he was so huge. It was like a wily veteran out there. It was huge. He made big plays when we needed them, especially because we're all excited about JSN and DK taking the next step, and there's all this excitement, and it's just kind of like Lockett's just kind of there. But when we needed to play, it was Tyler Lockett with the one-handed snag,
back shoulder.
man.
Yeah.
Ain't practiced all camp. Didn't play in no preseason games. Just pulled up with a little Bengay on his knees, like, let's go.
With a dusty hairline every time. He gonna catch that ball though.
Didn't he finally just cut it all off? I was like, man.
I don't know. I think he's a no shave November type of guy or something. I don't know. But he comes through, bails us out. That's all that matters.
Clutch first down to ice the game, man.
The hairline's trash, but the hands are nasty, boy.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. What about you?
I'm gonna go two. I'm gonna go one on each side of the football. Like I said earlier, Mafe just really, and I think it's because it's been so long since we've had a really good pass rusher, right? And it's so important to have that in today's NFL. And I think this guy has potential to be a superstar, right? He just flashes, and I just be like, man, he looks fast out there. And he's looking like he's really figuring out how to rush the passer, which seems easy to do, right? But it's a skill. And so I was really impressed by how he popped off at the screen. I think the interior line really takes a lot of pressure off because they are going to cause so much attention because they can be so disruptive. So I was really impressed by him. And then offensively, of course, I'm going to say Geno. I think for him to come out, throw a pick the first play of the game, to be under duress for so much and be abysmal in the first half, to settle in, get us to move the football. He had the nice scramble to get us a touchdown through a clutch pass to Tyler Lockett to ice the game. He's just a steady guy. He'll never be great, right? But he's just so steady, and he can be really good for us. And I'm just really excited that he's the quarterback of this team. I think he really garners a lot of respect from the fellas, and I think he's up for the assignment. And so I would go Mafe and I would go Geno. Those guys would be my two from week one.
Love it. You guys want to say anything on that? Anybody got something you want to add?
Mafe for sure. You know, having that threat at the line is gonna be essential in just disrupting a lot. You know, we have so many mobile quarterbacks, and just being able to get to them, never letting them feel comfortable in the pocket, and just having somebody in their face all the time. You know, that disruption is gonna be really critical. And then, you know, that's just how the whole system works. You know, let's get that pressure up front. And so having that guy, he had like a sack. And another tackle. He was great at getting that disruption. I feel like he'll just develop and be even more essential to our scheme. So I definitely feeling that vote. You got one, Green. You got one.
I can't wait for Nuoso to come back though.
Yeah.
Like, imagine those weekends.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Green, you nailed it on Geno. I feel like Geno's just solid.
Yeah.
And he's steady. And I made the mistake of like hopping on social media during the game, and you know, we got all these fake Seattle fans, and they're giving Geno the business, and I'm like, the line is horrible. How are you like bashing Geno for what's going on right now? Are we watching the same game? But you know, that's my fault for, you know what I mean, engaging during the game with some of these fake fans we got. But nah, Geno, he's really steady, man, and just kind of solid. Yeah. And can we stop pretending like there's just all these elite quarterbacks? Like,
where are they?
That's not how this works.
Show them to me, please,
bro.
Where are these guys at,
man? Right. So be careful what you ask for, man. I mean, you should be happy to just not be dealing with Mr. Unlimited.
All right now. Hey man,
leave my quarterback alone.
Oh, that's your guy. Is that your goddamn?
Not too much.
I'm Team Russell over here. Team Russell Wilson.
Yeah, not too much. You know, Russ has his things, but we not gonna do that man like that. Come on.
Mr. Unlimited was wild though.
That was wild.
I was like, yo, what was that about, fam? Like,
yo.
Hey, leave my guy go. This ain't about Russ. Listen, this isn't about Russ. Let's talk about the current team.
All right.
Yeah, you know what? Got a fight in Pittsburgh that he got to, you know, he might have lost his job. Ooh. So we gonna not too much on Russ. We gonna leave him alone. On his day.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Hey, we're gonna start a therapy group for you, Green. It's gonna be the three of us, man. We're here for you, man.
I need you guys. Can I address the Seahawks fans for a minute?
Please.
You guys really grind my gears, right? Respect the quarterback position. And Derek, you gave a great list of all the past quarterbacks earlier. It made my skin crawl, right? I think these Seahawks fans forget what it's like to have a Daniel Jones as your quarterback. It can happen, ladies and gentlemen. It can happen. I'll leave it there for today.
The problem is, man, they were not here during the lean years, so
that's the problem. That's
the
John
Freezes and the Kelly Stoufers and the Dan McGuires and the Rick Myers. I mean, them was real rough years, man. So you gotta appreciate when you got somebody that's solid and steady and can certainly get the job done. You know, to your point, he's never gonna be great. Dude's not elite,
right? And
you don't really need him to be. You know what I mean? So, he ain't the future. He's not the answer, but you know, he's a great holdover.
But he's the guy. He's the guy right now.
Today, right now.
Yes.
Right.
I like Geno, man. It's what we got, man. And at this point, I don't think we were talking last week. I don't think we've seen the best of Geno. I think at some point this year, we're gonna look up and go, like we had Geno ranked, Green and I ranked him somewhere between 18 and 23. That's where we had him, right? Somewhere around there. And we were like, at some point this season, he's gonna play like the 12th best quarterback. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be a stretch in there. It's quite possible that he moved, not top 10. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Maybe not 12, maybe 15. I don't know.
Maybe 15.
He's not so top 10.
But
He's not going to see top 10.
Nah.
To your point, we see what he's capable of when he has time, when he has some room and some protection. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? We see the type of playmaker that he is. So, yeah,
yes.
Like if we give him the tools, like so many other franchise quarterbacks get, if we give him the tools, you know, there's a lot more possible that can happen. So
yes.
I don't go for the Geno bashing either. You know, people are just uneducated. So we just leave them in their little uneducated bubble. Right.
The hell with them.
Yeah.
So before we let you two get out of here, we like to get everybody on record, man. And we like y'all to stand on business. We're gonna remember these at the end of the season. And so we want each of you to be able to give us we're 1-0. It's the perfect time to overreact and get all excited. But what is the Seahawks record gonna be at the end of the year? I'm on record and Green's on record. We are not the same. Derek, we're gonna start with you. What's your call?
10-7.
There's a guy. There's a guy who knows what he's talking about. This is why he's here.
Come on. You see it.
You see it. Pamela, what about you?
Okay. I'm with y'all. We went 9-8 last season. I think we could go 10-7 this season. I think with the improvements in personnel on the coaching staff, I really think we're going to have a winning season, and I believe we can go 10-7.
It should result in one more win, right?
Like, I mean, I can, we can only go up. That's how the math works, right?
This was my logic. When I was putting it, didn't this what I said, Green?
Yeah.
I was like, we have the same guy. We're better than last year. Our D-line is better. Our linebackers are better. The offense is the same. The offensive line should be a little better, right? We got a better center. And you know what I mean? So you just look and you go, is she going to – Pete got us 9-8 the last 2 years. One more win.
One more.
One more.
Hey, and I hope the maths out on that, but it's not like other people didn't get better too.
Come on.
No, you are totally correct.
But
they got to play us too. They got to play us too.
That they do. And if all the games are at home, man.
Come on, man.
But also, if we can go in at a half and make the adjustment that we made, then moving forward throughout the course of the season, I feel like we can make the necessary adjustments throughout the course of the season that we need to make at different positions, whatever. So, yeah, one more win? Like, come on. Easy.
Green, I'm at 10-7. Green, we need a number. Are you 9-8 or 8-9? Which one?
Well, I want to say this. Wins in the NFL aren't like an extra cookie at night. We're like, just have one more. These things are hard to get, man. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I will say, just keep in mind before I give my record, we just played a team that more than likely will have a top 4 pick in the NFL draft, right? So I just want to say, let's be mindful that there's a great possibility the Broncos have a top 4 pick next year. But with saying that, I do still think there are things that translate to better competition. But I still see 8-9, 9-8, and I land on 9-8. Like I told Doomy, I don't see us sweeping any teams in our division. I don't think we get swept either, but I don't think we sweep anybody. So there's just going to be some losses that happen, and then we play the AFC East, which is really solid, and they have teams with good trenches. I think we fall to 9-8, but that's why we play the game.
I just think that I'll tell you this. There are so many things that I can't know about this team, right? But the things like getting off the field on third down and holding a team, and I don't there's so many things that just are not the same that bring me that level of excitement. And so when I look at it, I go, one more win, yeah, gonna be tough. But that's why he's here. This is why we went and got Mike. This is why you're supposed to be the guy, right? The defense looks like what we were told the defense was going to look like.
He's
And
doing
so
his job.
I stand on the business that like they got to play us. We weren't a bad team. We had a lot of talent on this team, and we're starting to see it, right? And so, yeah, I think we will sweep someone in our division. I don't know who. You know what I mean? I'm just like, we're not gonna sweep everybody. I think, yeah, we're gonna sweep somebody in our division. You know what I mean? I think our season starts week 3. Don't get me wrong. I'm not looking past the Patriots as in we can't lose it. The Patriots just beat the Bengals, so we have no idea who they are. I do agree. We can't know much about us until we get to that point. If we lost, then we learned something. But if we won against the Patriots, I'm not going to take much from it. It's when we play the Dolphins, and then after that, we play the Detroit Lions. That's when you'll really, you know what I mean? When we get to that quarter mark of the season, we'll really be able to have some trends. We'll be able to say some things that we've seen and make some real calls. So we'll see
And
if
let's
people
be clear.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we also don't know what these wins are gonna look like. They're probably gonna be ugly as hell.
Yeah, for sure.
They're probably gonna be 1 or 2 points. Probably gonna win by a field goal, if that. You know what I mean?
No question.
So just being clear.
Yeah, no, you're
we're
absolutely
gonna
right.
be in dog fights. But no.
fight. And I truly I think the coach has already made his presence felt, right? I just worry about an offensive line that's already beat up in its week 1, right? And that when they're together, I don't know how good they are. And so as we get into October and November, it'll just be interesting to see. That's my only reservation. But I think the defense is gonna hold, but we've seen great defenses who just can't win games to that extent, because not every quarterback we're playing is Bo Nix.
Yeah.
This is true. I just want to say, Green, this is a safe space, man. And I know you've been hurt by her, but she's really changed, bro. And I know she's got some aggressive relatives that have also harmed you, but this is a safe space, bro. Bring it in, man. Just,
Thank you. Hey, cheers to you, bro. I needed to hear that, Derek. You're always there for your brother, man.
It's all love, baby.
Thank you.
Well, Pamela, Derek, we want to thank you guys for coming on. We'll definitely have you guys back in the coming weeks for some Hawk Talk, man. Peace and love, y'all.
Let's go. 10-7.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Damn it. All right, y'all.
You guys are awesome, man.
Man. My God, we are out of here, people. I am Draze. That was our guy, Green. We are 2 fans with a mic. It's been a great show. We will be back next Monday, same time, 9 o'clock. 2 fans with a mic. Over and out. Yo, Kurt.